So the Harvard event is dubbed the Olympics of Model United Nations. It's essentially the most prestigious MUN conference in the world and the largest outside of the United States and Canada. It brings together approximately 2,000 students every year. And it really speaks to the experience that each delegate brings, because all of them, all of the participants at WorldMUN are real MUN veterans. They are the best of their respective countries. So really it's going up against titans of the MUN world, and that's what really makes it special. And if Michelle wants to tell us a bit about what it was to compete against such amazing delegates, I think that would really benefit the conversation.
Please.
Yeah, for sure. So the thing is, Georgie and I, for example, were representing Equatorial Guinea in the Kashmir conflict, which is between India and Pakistan. So what's special is that most of the delegates we were competing against were from India and Pakistan. So this conflict was a conflict that they're involved in their everyday lives, which just speaks to how much they actually know about the topic and how proficient they are at discussing it. And another factor was that a lot of these delegates are older than us. We competed against people who were 24 and 25 years old, so very high in college levels in med school, for example. So I think these were literally the best MUN delegates in the world.
So we won 5 individual awards at Harvard WorldMUN, plus the Best Delegation Award, and 3 individual awards at Scotland. And one of our delegates also participated in another conference called IYA MUN, and he also brought home a Best Delegate Award. So that's a total of 9 individual awards and 1 delegation award.
At Harvard, I read that there were 110 delegations from 110 universities, or maybe some doubling up. AUB came first. How did that happen? What do you put it down to?
It without a doubt comes to the idea of resilience. We've had a really challenging year as Lebanese, and we had an opportunity to prove ourselves and put ourselves on the roadmap once again, as we always try to do as Lebanese. But the determination we had this time around was, in my opinion, unprecedented. And the preparation that had gone into it, all of these elements really were unprecedented, I think, both for AUB MUN, but also for Harvard WorldMUN. So we really stepped into it and said from day one, we are not going home without an award for AUB and Lebanon. And that in itself was an edge, despite us having plenty of challenges along the way, from internet to debates to language barriers.
What was the most anxiety-inducing moment?
I can answer that question. Regarding the anxiety and nail-biting experiences, Scotland's MUN experience was a bit anxious-ful. Given that we had a very minimal time to prepare for our delegations, we only had 1 week prior to do our position papers and to do all our research regarding our countries and our statements. So that was a bit anxious, and also we did face some conflicts within the conference with one of the chairs. However, as head delegate, I was able to make the experience as smooth as possible. I spoke with the USG and the SG, and we tried to solve the solution as fast as possible. So that was nice.
Okay, you're being very diplomatic. What was the conflict?
It was a conflict with one of the chairs. We didn't feel that the chair was competent enough to be a chair, honestly. Okay. We had 2 delegates within the committee, and our delegates were actually more competent than the chair herself. And even one of the delegates came back home with the Best Delegate Award, which shows her competency.
Yes.
On Harvard MUN anxiety, Sarah knows better than anyone how anxious I was to participate in this conference. I did MUN for 6 years, and all of the delegates here have multiple years of experience, but this one was something else. We felt like we're gonna, at some point, we did want to win, we always wanted to win, but we feel like, what if I lose? I've been doing this my whole life. How is this gonna reflect on me? How is this gonna affect me? So we were really anxious because we are competing against the best of the best, so it's not easy. We are in a small country that's called Lebanon, and we're good at it, and we're the best in Lebanon. But who told us that we're the best in the world? We acknowledged for 1 second how one person is so small against the whole world, but when we won, we realized that we're bigger than that, and all our anxieties and worries and everything flew away, and we were above the clouds.
I think it's just also really important to note that, of course, Harvard WorldMUN was occurring in Boston time zone. So by the end of this conference, we were all quite genuinely jet lagged.
It's not only the time difference, it's also that most of us are like double majoring or have 2 minors, and AUB credits already put us through a lot of work, and winning at WorldMUN isn't a piece of cake at all. Like, we had to do sleepless nights before, and also adding to that the jet lag. So my personal anxiety was mainly catching up to my midterms, finals. I have 19 credits this semester.
Is it possible? Can you balance the two?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
We did actually.
This
Yeah.
is the proof that it is possible, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's sleepless nights. Yeah, you have to stay up late. It's determination.
Lots of caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can the delegates tell me what is Dr. Mirza's role?
So Dr. Mirza is our faculty advisor, essentially. She's like the godmother of the club, I would like to say. Any events that the club wants to take part in or wants to organize, they have to pass and be approved by Dr. Mirza. She's basically our liaison between the club and AUB administration and AUB faculty. So she facilitates all of our activities, and she has also played an instrumental role in bringing some amazing guest speakers this year. This is the first time that we hold talks and workshops with ambassadors and public figures to introduce our delegates to this concrete and career-oriented art of diplomacy, and it was all thanks to Dr. Mirza.
And
Yeah,
what,
thanks, Martin.
no,
No,
I'm going to ask the students. I've got a question for the students. What special characteristic does she have that enables her to play this role so well?
She's always available. That's the
Full of
best thing. Always.
Full of energy. Yeah,
Extremely
when
supportive.
we're down, she gives us the energy and motivation to go up.
What was the funniest moment that happened? When did you just all have to
Georgie.
put
So-
yourselves onto mute and just giggle?
So as Michel said, me and him were representing Equatorial Guinea in the Security Council. And the thing about the Security Council is that it is a crisis conference. So there's constantly crisis updates and things that even our research did not prepare us for. And you have to be really quick on your feet. And the one thing I'm really known for within the MUN club is that I give over-the-top dramatic speeches. And so the guys we were competing with, they were not used to or expecting it at all. So it was something that distinguished us, and then they couldn't stop laughing because it was so unusual to them. They were prepared for a very formal and aggressive speech, but they were surprised because we were just almost laughing within the speech, creating these dramatic, intense moments, and at the same time delivering our ideas. So they were all sending us messages like through WhatsApp and other social media, like, you guys give so amazing speeches. They're laughing so hard. And then they were trying to compete to match our speeches. They try to insert pop culture references, and it was just too funny.
You are so full of passion for this, and we're in such a difficult moment in Lebanon now. What are you going to take from this experience to your homeland? What are you going to do with it?
What we're gonna do with it is just reignite the hope. It's just think that if we have these people, we have this determination, we have this knowledge, we have these institutions like AUB, there's still hope. This is the only thing I personally saw it as a glance of hope. I saw that we can still show the world who we really are. We can still show the world that we're not this lost place in the Middle East, this piece of desert where people don't know anything about culture. We can show who we are, and I do really believe in the Lebanese youth that I am part of and that my fellow delegates are part of. I have hope in my country. It just reignited hope again.
What I want to say is that Lebanon is full of gems that often are not given the chance to shine. And those experiences, those incredible learning opportunities, those extracurricular learning opportunities are really a staple of the Lebanese education. And they are extremely important to preserve and to encourage because they teach us some incredible life skills and they give us some amazing opportunities to shine worldwide. So despite the adversity, I want to encourage every student out there and every university out there to just keep on pushing, both academically, but also outside of the classroom, because this is where true experiences and true skills are forged as well.
Let's give the last word to Dr. Zeinab Mirza.
I'm so proud. I'm really the proudest advisor actually this year to have met them, to have interacted with them. Thank you for the sweet word that they gave me. Maybe I encouraged to bring the best out of these gems to help them shine. And then I have a message for the AUB international community in here. We are worth it. Yes, at the fourth generation AUB here, I walk, I'm number 4. And to me, this is a great institution. And this is why I gave them that, but this is why they should keep on supporting us. And I hope they do. They're definitely worth it. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Mr. Martin. Thank you.
Oh, thank you. Can you give yourselves a round of applause, please?
I'm so proud of you.